Inside a small death watch cell at Holman Prison in Atmore, Alabama, Lynda Lyon Block waited for the moment the state would come for her. For years, she had fought to stay alive. Appeal after appeal, motion after motion. But now, there was nothing left. Just before midnight, correctional officers opened her cell. Without resistance, Lynda stood to her feet, handcuffed and escorted down a short concrete hallway, each step bringing her closer to the end of her life. There would be no turning back. She entered Alabama's infamous electric chair, known simply as Yellow Mama. Leather straps were tightened across her wrists, her waist, her legs, until she could no longer move. Electrodes were attached to her head and leg. As witnesses looked on from behind the glass, prison officials asked if she wished to make a final statement. Lynda quietly refused. The room fell silent. Moments later, the executioner threw the switch. More than 2,000 volts of electricity surged through her body. Within minutes, Lynda Lyon Block was dead. She became the last woman in America ever executed by electrocution. But how did her life end here? To understand that, you have to go back to Orlando, Florida. Lynda's childhood was marked by a difficult relationship with her mother, a tension that friends said followed her well into adulthood. She searched for purpose, for belonging, and eventually believed she had found it. She married Carl Block and began building what appeared to be a respectable life. She worked for the Humane Society, volunteered in her community, and became involved in political campaigns. From the outside, life seemed stable. Behind closed doors, the marriage slowly unraveled. As the relationship deteriorated, Lynda threw herself into politics. She published her own newspaper, wrote opinion pieces, and became increasingly outspoken. Eventually, she left Carl, and her life took a dramatic turn. If you're drawn to dark true crime and unforgettable stories, explore the complete collection at deathhousefilms.com or subscribe and like now. That turn came in the form of George Sibley. The two bonded over a deep distrust of government authority and what they believed was systemic oppression. Together, their beliefs became more extreme. Desperate for money, they forced their way into Carl Block's apartment, tied him to a chair, and demanded cash. It was a crime that foreshadowed something far worse. Authorities quickly caught up with them. They were arrested. But instead of backing away from their anti-government beliefs, their anger only intensified. When they were later summoned to appear in court, they never showed. Instead, They burned their Social Security cards, packed what little they owned, and disappeared. They had declared themselves beyond the reach of the government, and now they were fugitives. Weeks later, they stopped at a Walmart parking lot in Opelika, Alabama. While Lynda used a payphone, George remained with their vehicle. An Opelika police officer approached after becoming suspicious. The encounter quickly escalated. Voices were raised, a struggle broke out, then gunfire. Hearing the commotion, Lynda ran toward the scene. She drew her own handgun and fired. Officer Roger Motley was mortally wounded. The couple fled the scene. Everything had changed. A massive manhunt followed. Hours later, their vehicle was surrounded at a police roadblock. An armed standoff stretched on for hours. Eventually, Lynda and George surrendered. This time, there would be no escape. At trial, Lynda made an extraordinary decision. She would represent herself. She challenged prosecutors, questioned witnesses, and argued passionately before the jury. But none of it changed the outcome. She was convicted of capital murder. The judge sentenced both Lynda Lyon Block and George Sibley to death. The years that followed became a slow countdown. Inside a tiny death row cell, Lynda filled her days with legal books, appeals, letters to George, and endless waiting. One appeal was denied, then another. Weeks became months, months became years. Outside, life continued. Inside, time stood still. Finally, the last appeal reached the end of the road. The Supreme Court declined to intervene. Her execution warrant was signed. Lynda was transferred to Holman Correctional Facility and placed on death watch. Only days later, she made that final walk to Yellow Mama. The chair she'd spent years trying to avoid was waiting. When a switch was thrown on May 10, 2002, a chapter of American history came to an end. Lynda Lyon Block became the last woman ever executed in the United States by electric chair. Her story remains one of ideology, violence, and irreversible choices, a reminder that a single decision can alter countless lives, including your own.